From NBC News, this is Today with Matt Lauer and Meredith Vieira. Live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And up next, the new face of hunger in America. You could be surprised by the kinds of people who need help these days. We'll talk about that right after this.
As the economic meltdown rolls on, more people are in danger of going hungry. A record 31 million Americans, that's 1 in 10, are currently receiving food stamps. And food banks and pantries coast to coast are reporting sharp increases in demand. Today, national correspondent Jenna Wolf is here with more. Good morning to you, Jenna.
Good morning, Meredith. So we traveled to Massachusetts, where rising unemployment and a sharp increase in the cost of living have left a lot of people struggling. And these are people who have never needed any kind of assistance before. At first glance, Chris Chetwin appears to be living the American dream. The father of 3 has a full-time job as a mechanic. His wife also works full-time as an occupational therapist, and they bought their first home 5 years ago. But rising gas prices this past summer, mounting daycare costs for their 2 youngest children, and a spike in food prices have forced Chris to do something he never imagined.
Pizza? Yep. I wouldn't think that I'd be in this position. I work as hard as I can. My wife works to the point where we never really see each other, and I wouldn't think that we would be in a position like this.
So you're not choosing between going clothes shopping and going food shopping. You're choosing between putting a roof over your head and food for your children.
I think the last time I bought a pair of pants was about 2 years ago, and I bought them from Walmart, a $15 pair of jeans. It's not like we're out there being frivolous with anything.
Food banks across Massachusetts say they are seeing more and more people just like Chris.
The face of hunger in America is changing, and I think people don't realize that many of the folks coming to food pantries are working adults, and they're doing everything right. They're just not making enough money to be able to meet all the demands.
One reason, a dramatic increase in food prices. The cost of a loaf of bread up 12.5% in the last year. Peanut butter up 13.5%. Butter up 8.1%.
It's a pleasure serving you.
At this Red Cross food pantry in Boston, demand has increased by 1/3.
Did you want me to see if you qualify for food stamps?
Calls to this emergency food hotline up 34%. And at this food pantry we visited in Quincy, shelves that were once full are now empty.
I even dread opening this. It's discouraging because if you look at this, you know, 6 months ago we would have had this refrigerator filled with milk and yogurt and, you know, cheese and foods. And now you can, you know, count how many dozens of eggs are in there.
It isn't just the growing number of hungry people that have communities here in Massachusetts concerned. There's also been an explosion in the number of homeless families, up 32% in just the last year. Families like Lori and Nigel Harper. They lost their home to foreclosure last June. Now they share a single room with their 16-year-old daughter.
You never think these things are going to happen to you because you are working, you're making a living, and you're a productive citizen. You never realize that you will be without a place to stay.
Often when people hear of homelessness, and they think of individuals who are living on the streets, but really the face of homelessness is a 7-year-old child. It's young families. And a large majority of them, probably 50% or more, are those families who just can't afford their rent.
That's a problem that's particularly acute here in Boston, where an average apartment rents for $1,600 a month. Rents increased more than 4% last year. Experts say it'll take substantially more low-cost housing, job training programs,
Can you fill in what your rent and mortgage payment is?
and eviction prevention programs like this one to prevent more people from becoming homeless. The demand for services is expected to increase in Massachusetts in the coming months as unemployment and foreclosures continue to rise. Meanwhile, for people like Chris Chetwin and his family, there's a sense of gratitude for the safety net they've been given and the hope that it'll be enough to carry them through this economic crisis. And the face of hunger isn't just changing in Massachusetts. It's actually happening all over the country to all different types of people. Experts obviously hoping for a quick passage of the economic stimulus package, which would provide additional funding for anti-hunger programs and rental assistance to the homeless. It's a big problem. It's not going away.
Yeah, only
soon,
getting
Meredith.
worse. Thank you so much.